Welcome back to the Sick Boys Podcast. I'm your host, JD Denham. Across the way, my co-host, looking dapper as always in his new home in Arizona. You look good, buddy. What is up, Justin Wenzel?
Oh, dude, first of all,
Chipper and
this is like
happy, and like life seems good.
life is great. And this is like my favorite night. I get off 44 Core Plus call. Jay Ferrugia just laid it on, and then I get to get right off that call and come on and shoot this podcast. And this podcast it's so funny because I almost like put my podcast, Justin Wenzel podcast, to the side to focus more on this one. And
So
if you guys are
easy.
listening, it's just too much fun.
Dude,
Justin
I
Wenzel podcast
listened
is
to
great
it.
because I get to go ahead.
I was just saying I listened to it because, like, we get busy, man, and I try to listen to them. And I listen to my podcasts that I do from the standpoint of how can I get better, right? And so, and I just sometimes don't have all the time, So I listened to the one we did last week because I really enjoyed it, for one. And two, you don't even really remember what you say. I mean, we have so much content that we put out. I don't remember what I say where. And but anyways, I was listening to it, man, and like you and I talk like that. So it's like this is how we talk when we're like no one's around or whatever. This is who we talk. These are typical conversations, but I love talking like this. So it pumps me up, dude. I
Guys.
feel lifted. These conversations just lift me, man. And like Jay, like Jeremy Jackson, like just all the guys we hang with, bro. Like, dude, so you got to hang out with, man. Like these are the conversations you got to have, dude. Like if you're hanging out with dudes that like are talking about being broke and this and that, like I'm not knocking that, dude. That's not what I mean, dude. You're gonna get that, dude. Stop
Yeah.
that. Find different friends.
Yeah.
Find guys that are like freaking after trying to do big shit, man. So tell me, dude. I want to hear because, gosh, dude, you and I have been busy. You've been busy. I've been busy, but you've been busy in different forms, working and building a new life in the last few days. So let's dig into like what's going on in the last probably week of your life, dude.
Yeah. So I want to preface by saying, because this might come off a little arrogant. And this might come off, and I don't mean it to be, but I think it's important to understand because wasn't how I always was. Um, Becoming the man who does shit right now. Right. Like I always talk about like, the mantra, do it now, I do it now. And when you say
100%.
I do it now, you add the word you pretty much personify the statement, do it now. I am the man who does things right now. I am the man who makes decisions right now. I am the man who moves. I'm the man who acts. And I got about 90 days worth of decision making, life and movement and everything else done in like 4 days. And when I say that,
You
I
moved
mean,
states, dude.
I moved my business. I moved Freddie. I moved my podcast studio and his home. I bought a house for Freddie. I today just bought $250,000 worth of vehicles. I bought a new pickup truck for myself. I bought Freddie a new truck, and I bought Christina a new vehicle. It has been literally, it's been, and sometimes even the car buying process for people takes weeks and whatever, and they have to think about it and stuff like that. I was like, yep, get it on a truck, ship it to Arizona, three vehicles right now. And just to think about the decisions that I made, the movement that I just took hold of. Okay. So I had been gone already for over a month, right? We were traveling, we were in Tulum, we were
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. So we had a moving date. And we had enough time to move. I have the time to do whatever I want. But I had a goal. I was like, I want to get this done the last week of January. I want to be set up and ready to go in February, right? I want to travel through December. I want to dick around at the very beginning and like, get settled to Arizona ahead of time, kind of get a plan of where we're going to go, get a house, things like that. Okay. But I want to have everything done the last week of January. I want to just get it all done and literally move my entire life and Freddie and everything else. So that was my goal, was to get everything done. So when we flew back last Friday night. We landed at 7 o'clock at night back in Orange County.
NHB.
I
Yeah.
had nothing. I had nothing packed. I had nothing planned. I had a truck that I had put a reservation in for, but that was about it. I didn't have movers. I didn't have boxes. I didn't have
Holy
anything.
shit,
I did.
bro.
I had my house, which was a reasonable size home, right? Fully furnished, decorated. I have a lot of clothes. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of nice
Yeah.
stuff. and multiple cars and you know all the other things that needed to get here into Arizona. So we had just the plan of us getting it done. We didn't really know exactly what we were going to do. So we did it. We literally, I landed, I touched down that morning and started delegating. I found people that I could trust. I found people that were ranked highly on certain service applications and things like that. Shelled out the dough. Was very, very generous. Dude, my movers worked until 2:30 in the morning. And literally, like, we got that all done in 2 days. Now, not to mention also that Saturday morning, I was training with resistance bands, warming up, and a resistance band snapped and almost took my eye out. So
Jesus.
on top of that, I have a fucking eye patch on. I can't see. My other eye's like limping because, obviously trying to compensate, and so that happened right
I
before
can
we even.
confirm that he had an eye patch. I saw the picture.
Yes. Yes. And thank God it's okay. I thought I lost my eye, but then it ended up being fine, but it was like it was scary. A fucking heavy resistance band hit me right in the eye, like super, super hard. Like it almost made me throw up, which I didn't even know that those things were all combined, or connected. So yeah, it was like a lot of stuff to do in 2 days that would take most people weeks to get
Yeah.
accomplished, right? Not to
Shit, bro.
mention finding a nice home, beautiful home for Freddie to be in and to have our studio in and to set up in there, get all, obviously all the other things that come along with it, trash service and, all the utilities and stuff that, you take a lot, you got to take time to consider all of these things.
A
They
lot.
add up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you
A
move your
lot.
life to a whole nother state, registration on vehicles, insurances, and all the things, that you have to take into consideration. And today is Thursday. And my home in Scottsdale is fully set up, fully decorated. My closet is fully decked out. When the minute we touched down, I had a mover, handyman, interior designer, organizer, everybody all lined up while I'm driving through the night, by the way, from Orange County to Scottsdale. I'm knee on the steering wheel, going through apps, finding people to do stuff. Those people all have worked for me for the last, 3 days, and I'm going to keep them on staff. I'm gonna keep him on staff. Like literally, this guy Greg that I hired is awesome. He's been literally doing everything around the house for us, painting, like just taking care of stuff outside. I mean, the pool. It's insane. Like when you find the right people, you delegate, you trust them, you pay them very well, and how things happen. But it's all because I became that person who makes decisions right now. I do things right now. I'm not a fucking pussy. I didn't think about it and sit around and dwell on it. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking do it and left an entire like I have a great situation in Orange County, a fantastic, most people's dream I had.
He
and
lives right
and it was like,
downtown. You live right downtown HB, dude.
yeah,
Literally right
on the
downtown
beach.
HB. Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, this is the change I'm going to make. Is it hard to part with? Yes. Do I see a better future? Yes. I'm going to go after that better future. Yes. Am I going to sit around and posture and think and pontificate and blah 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 blah? No. Why would I do that? Because here's the deal: if you line 10 men up, 9 of them are wasting their fucking life away, thinking, overthinking, analysis paralysis, scared, living in a fear loop, and they never fucking do anything. And I learned that the longer you sit in that fear loop, the longer you sit in that analysis paralysis, you don't end up really doing anything at all. And guess what? I have a population of men to prove it.
Yeah. That's right.
So I'm
And
fired up right now.
it's called LOVE too. It's called love, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. I'd do it for my bride. I love her. She's my girl, dude. I forgot I'd chase her anywhere.
Man, yeah. And Christina, and our situation and how we are with each other. And it's been just growth, right? And the funny thing is they always say, like, when you get in a relationship, like, don't get married until you traveled with the person, lived with the person, been on a long road trip with the person, so on and so forth. And like, we've done it all. Not to mention, we started in a long distance relationship where we had to get extremely uncomfortable and literally made it work. We took the time, we spent the money, we did the traveling, we made the sacrifices and everything else, and we continue to do that. Sacrifice for each other, make the time for each other, connect with each other, get closer to God with each other, train together. I mean, all of the things that you need to do consistently to maintain a healthy relationship, which quite frankly I never even had before.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. That's what it's about. My wife's my best friend. My wife is my best friend, man. Love it. That's what it's about. Well, I freaking am happy for you, man. Miss you. It's great even just seeing you on the screen. You've been busy, I've been busy, but dude, it's good to see you, dude. And I'm happy for you. I think that you're gonna freaking crush it. Gives me a reason to come out to Scottsdale. I love Scottsdale.
Dude, it's
I
so
always like
beautiful here.
Scottsdale. I try
It's
to
so
come out there
beautiful
once a
here.
week, once a month for a podcast. See if
That's it.
I can rock that. I'll just fly though. I'm not driving no way.
No,
No
dude,
way.
it's too easy with JSX.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
bro, well, it's so easy. You'll land. We'll pick you up. It's only like 20 minutes
Bro,
away
like,
from
dude, like
here.
it's so crazy, like the life we live, dude, because everything that I do too is like I can get good content. Everything's good content, bro.
It's all
You know
right
what I mean?
off.
I don't know how
It's
that's
all right
like
off.
become my life, but it's our life, man. That's good content. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Everything to
Yep.
me is like, oh, I can make this into this. You know what I mean? So, what a cool story,
Oh,
man. I love it, dude. That is so cool. I'm excited for you. Do you guys have a date picked for the wedding?
7 in Sedona. Oh, by the way, too, what takes people months to even do a plan a wedding, we already have a venue secured, deposit in. Cody Jefferson is gonna officiate it and be our pastor. Uh, I mean, I like literally wedding planner all set up. We've already made our list of people that are coming. Like it's if we were to have the wedding this weekend, we're already set to go. Like, if anybody can take anything from this, and again, I know this may sound some type of way, but get off your fucking ass. Put one foot in front of the other. Like, just make decisions. Again, I'm going to harp on this forever because I sit around and I listen to wishy-washy motherfucking men that sound like complete pussies, and they don't ever do anything. So you're going to hear me repeat myself over and over again. Stop wasting time, make a decision, and fucking move. And it's
What's the
like I
barrier
can.
though? Like, what's the barrier for most? Like, what's the stop sign? What's the hold up? Do you think
Discomfort.
fear of the
Yeah.
unknown, fear of failure, so fear to failure that they don't even try? Like, what do you think it is?
Yeah, so putting a blanket statement like fear on it is for sure going to be a
Easy.
big that's easy,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what
Right.
it actually is, right?
Right.
So yeah, fear of failure, fear of the unfamiliar, right? So people stay in relationships, one because, like, men do, because like, oh, I'll never find somebody again. Or men or will stay in a relationship because we have split utilities and bills, and it's like, okay, well, I got to go find a new place and I got to move and I got to do all of this thing, right? So it's a lot of discomfort, and I think a lot of guys, they get so comfortable, that they'll live in misery. And they'll do whatever they can to trick their brain into thinking that they're happy and not miserable. But then there's always, whenever there's that like fleeting thought that like there's more, you're miserable. There's
Yeah.
no fucking way that you can tell me that if you're sitting with a fleeting thought of other things that could be potentially better for you, whether it's a career, whether it's a relationship that's actually fruitful and worthwhile, whether it's better rooms to walk into, whatever it is, if you're having those fleeting thoughts constantly, then you're not fucking happy, because real happiness is contentment. And so these guys will sit there in their comfort and they will allow the things that keep them comfortable dictate whether they live a life that they actually want to live.
Dude, bro, it's like the high majority of humans. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the high. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's like pretty much everybody except for, I mean, you know, the circles we run in, it's not. But I mean,
Well,
even like I'm gonna like,
odds are if you're listening to this, you're one of those people, because if you weren't, you would be out doing this.
Well, so it's funny because we were touching on this because I know that one of the subjects we wanted to talk about is embracing the hard, where it's been on my heart a lot. Whether I don't know why, I don't know what was the trigger of it. I think I saw something kind of like maybe start to think about it, but so I've posted a couple things on it in particular. I did a post a couple days ago, and then I did a follow up post. As I was driving and just thinking. And that's cool that we get to do that, man. We just get to drop our thoughts. A lot of it, to me, it's just a purge for me. A lot of the stuff I post is just for me. It's a canvas, if you will, like me just talking to me and like getting my thoughts out. I love it. It's so awesome to be able to do that. But so I posted a post. I think it was even today that somebody had commented on the post, and the haters hate. That's fine. I'm used to it. I don't care. But I'm gonna just use this as an example of what is out there. Where I talked about embracing the hard, praying for hard, because the hard is what shapes you. It what molds you. I literally said, pray for the storms, because the storms are what literally create the strength, right? Like, no, you don't really see that until you come out of the storm, until you've kind of been through some shit. You kind of know when you're in a storm. But anyways, I dropped that. Dude, like one of the first comments was this person, oh yeah, you're in your nice, super nice truck talking about hard and all this shit. I was thinking, girl, I walked into sober living 15 years ago with nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like there ain't nothing special about me. I made a decision. I said to myself, I will never be freaking broke again. And I kept my word because I don't want to feel broke again. I don't want to go to I personally, and I don't, this isn't about anybody else, about me. I don't want to go to a steakhouse and have to go, dude, look at the menu. I don't want to. Like, if I want to buy two porterhouses, I don't give a shit. I want to buy two porterhouses. I don't need to look at the thing. Like, that to me is success. Like, everybody wants money. Duh, dude. Duh, 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 duh. But like, that's what started to cultivate in sober living as I walked in with a basket full of clothes. Me saying to myself, I don't ever, first off, want to take anything from anybody else. I've taken my whole life. I didn't ask my dad for anything. I didn't want anything. I walked in there. He gave me $50 for food. So that's where I started. Bag of clean clothes now, $50 for food. And here's the cool part of that. And it's not patting myself on the back as much as it's shining the light on what's possible. Meaning I went from that, and 15 years later, I'm doing pretty good. I would think what most people would call successful.
Yeah, you
And
are.
it's because I made a damn commitment to myself, and I've been keeping my word to myself for 15 years. Even if it's like I'm going to wake up at 4. You know how I am about the damn alarm clock. Like, dude, if you say you're going to get it before, you don't get it before. People don't realize how big that is on your subconscious, dude. Like, you say you're going to get up. It's not about getting up before. It's about, if you say it and you really mean that you want to do it and you don't do it, it affects your subconscious to a degree where most people don't realize. When you don't keep your word, you take steps backwards from, I don't want to say integrity, but like kinda.
It is
But
integrity.
when, you know
It
what I
is
mean? But
integrity.
like, you build up these every time that you say you're going to wake up at 4. Okay, let's just use that example. You get a log of integrity and you put it into the bank. But you keep keeping your word. And then when you have those low moments, when I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to do it. I'm thinking about hitting that. Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm going to pull out some of that integrity into my bank. And you know what I mean, dude? So it's
Hmm.
like that barrier, that stop sign. Yeah, I think a lot of people are so scared of failure that they don't even try. They get so comfortable with mediocrity that they settle for mediocrity, dude. And like, I don't even know, like, another thing that I was saying lately is just like, listen, dude, like, every single person that I know that is successful, every single person that I know in life that's doing big shit, multiple companies, whatever, big shit, whatever that means to you, big shit, they've been through some shit. So they have seen the darkness, so they can cherish what they have. You know what I mean? Like, so many people just settle, and it drives me crazy, man. And like, dude, for me personally, it's not a judgment. It's not anything, but I'm going to even shout out my editor who's behind the scenes here right now. I love him. He's a little, I don't know what you are, Mario, and you don't need to chime in, but I think he's like 25 or something, but he works his freaking ass off, dude. He's 25. And that's, most 25-year-olds are entitled. I want to be around people that work their asses off. And if you're not, just can't be around you, man. And it's not like judgment. I'm just not going to have your energy around me. It's contagious. I'm not going to have it around me. Sorry, it's
So
just not.
let's talk about that because I've talked about this topic in the past that most people are delusional about their work ethic. In other words, most people will say that they're working hard. They'll tell themselves that they're working hard, and they'll tell the people around them that they're working even
I'm
harder
the
than
hardest
they tell
worker in the room.
themselves.
Like, are you?
Right.
Right.
And that actually came to mind this morning when I was training at the gym that I'm at now. I'm at Lifetime here, and I'm looking around, and you know how I train. I train extremely hard. I train till failure every single set, and actual failure, not like my brain telling me that I'm failing. Like literally, my body's going to break if I try another
Do
one.
legs with Justin, man. It's
Um,
been a while.
yeah, but and you know what? And it's not again. This is real. Like I'm serious about how about training till failure. I'm serious about like actually growing and actually getting the results that I want, right? Because I used to be a fat slob and I wanted to have a body that was centerfold ready, right? Like GQ, fucking muscle, men's health, whatever. I wanted to
What was the
have that, and
change,
that
though?
was
Let me stop for a second. I'm sorry because I don't want to pass this opportunity. So I'll forget. What was the change? So if you were the
enough
guy that was
pain.
fat and over enough pain, okay.
Yeah, that's what it
So you
always
think that other
is.
people that aren't in enough pain, all these people are sitting on their couch eating Cheetos and talking shit, they're just not in enough pain to change. Is
Oh,
that what it is?
but it should be. But it should be. But that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So when you said it may, I don't know if it's integrity. It is integrity. Okay, because there's two things, right? Like, and these are cliches, but how you do one thing is how you do everything, and integrity is what you do behind when no one's looking or behind closed doors. Okay. And so if you say that to a man and you say, well, how you do one thing is how you do everything, they're going to go, yup, totally. I agree. And you're like, okay, well, why did you just half rep and fuck up like and just fuck around in the gym all day?
Cutting
Right.
corners.
And by the way, and then we talk about integrity, right? You told yourself you were going to go train and actually train, but instead you sat around and texted and you did half reps and you fucked around and you didn't actually go to failure and you didn't really train. Okay. You said you were going to, but you didn't. Okay. So I assume that because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And by the way, you agreed with me. I would assume
Yeah.
that the work that you're putting in your business is not really hard work. I would assume that the work that you're putting in your relationship is
Right.
not real work. I would
Yeah.
assume that the way that you treat your nutrition is not really honest with yourself because I sat there and watched you. Now I can prove it. And here's how I can prove it, JD. Because integrity is what you do behind closed doors, what you do when nobody's looking. You chose to half ass it in front of fucking everybody. You chose to half ass it in a public gym. You chose to go in there where other people are working, most of them also half assing it, by the way. And you chose to give up early. You chose to half ass your sets. You chose to sit on your phone and text. You chose to skip your cardio. You chose to do all of this shit that you're not supposed to choose to do when you walk into a place that's a sanctuary like the gym. Now, I'm not
Why though?
saying
Why? Why? I'll tell you why.
because it's uncomfortable.
Because those are the type of people that go to the gym to say that they went to the gym. Like we go to the gym for results. I go to the gym one because I freaking love it and I will lift to the day I die. Two, I go because I'm chasing growth every single day. I'm not going there to say to my friends, "Oh, I went to the gym today." Like I got it done. You know what I mean? I go there for a reason. Well, that's why, and Live Alpha, like pretty much everybody that goes there, there's a purpose for what they do. And that's why I love that gym because it's a small group, but like people that go there for a purpose. There's none of that stuff. There's none of the sitting around on the machine texting. That's freaking rad, man, because that's most gyms.
Mhm.
So that's rad.
And that's most people. So I think that is a reason, right? They want to tell people. I think there's a number of reasons.
I worked out
I
today.
think that is a reason. Yeah, I worked out today, that they tell themselves that, oh, at least I got it done today. Okay, and
Yeah.
and listen, I do believe that there is no workout is a bad workout. I do believe that. But my issue is that it is so glaring to me that if you can't even take that time to yourself and actually push yourself to a limit or even actually try, right? Because I look around and most of these people aren't even fucking trying, okay? Then I would assume that you don't try in anything else in your life. And if you're willing
Yeah,
to
there's
show the world
right.
that you're not trying, then behind closed doors, I would also assume that you're not actually trying or doing the things that you're telling other people that you're doing, or even yourself that you're doing, which is even worse.
What
So,
part of that? What part of that are people like us who are sober who have had to make these changes? And so for me, I'll tell you a quick story about how what happened to me when I became the branch manager of the mortgage company. I don't think I've told you. It's kind of a cool story, but it's based upon everything you've been saying. So um, I I was just go. I told myself I'm never gonna be broke. I said I'm never gonna be broke again. So when I took a year and got sober, and I did a pinner job that like my sponsor said to do, get well job. I played that role. I hated it. Paid my dues. Then I went back in the emergency industry. Now, when I got there, I had a mission, dude. I didn't want to be broke. I remember thinking, if I just get 10 grand in my bank, and then I get 10 grand, if I just get 20 grand in my bank, it was always more. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be broke. So I out freaking worked everybody. I got there before everybody got there, and I left before everybody left. But here, that's not the best part. The work ethic, it's not as rare as integrity, right? So I'm going there and like, I'm trying to stay sober. I'm a heroin addict. Now I had years sober, but I am observant enough to see the people that go back out and die, which are the people that start cutting corners, little cheats, little lies. They compound, and then all of a sudden you have a fucking needle in your hand or a bottle in your hand again, and whatever. Like, how'd this happen? Well, you started cutting little corners, and that integrity bent. So I saw that, and so I wasn't trying to live with integrity and character because I was a good guy. I wanted to stay sober. I was a drug addict about to die. And so because of that mentality, I wouldn't cut corners. Like if somebody called me and they shouldn't have got a loan. No, man, you shouldn't do this. Like you shouldn't do this. Like you don't like take some time, like the market, whatever. I was honest with people more than I wanted my bank account to grow because I was being integral. Okay. So unbeknownst to me, and then oddly, I'd get a big loan the next call because I did the right thing, but that's how it works. But unbeknownst to me, my managers, the owners were watching me. Okay. And so I get an email from my boss and he says, "Hey, JD, can you come in here? I wanted to chat with you." And so I go in there. I mean, I don't know what I had, 5 years. So I don't remember what it was exactly. I had some time for sure. But to me, I'm still a freaking recovered heroin addict. That's just how, it takes a long time to completely shake that off from your subconscious. You know what I mean? And I was doing good. I already told you the story about how I was successful and I was like, did some things that kind of stand out. Boss pulls me in. He goes, "Listen, man," he goes, "they're pulling me up to corporate. He's, I got a raise and they're pulling me up to corporate. My problem is I got to find someone to run this company." And I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this, right? And he goes, "I would like to hand the keys to you." He's like, "I've been watching you." He said, "Your work ethic is prime." But he said, "Your integrity and your character," he said, "your moral fiber is something I'm not used to seeing in this industry." And he said, "I've been watching you for a long time." And he says, "I would like to hand the keys off to you." And you, Justin, I'm like this, bro. Like, this is a true story. I'm like, the fuck just happened? Like, what? I didn't seek it. I wasn't looking for it. I did not want any of it. It was because of integrity. I didn't know he was watching me, dude. I just didn't want to be broke. I had a mission to build my bank account, not because I care about money as much as I want to feel what it's like to be broke, dude. Freaking broke being sucks. Life is not happy. Broke money doesn't buy happiness, but it eliminates a lot of stress. And I don't like being stressed. You know what I mean? Like when
okay.
you got a couple bucks, dude, like you're not worried about what you buy at a restaurant or, dude, should I have got that shirt? I don't want to live like that, bro.
Yeah.
That was a true story, man. That's how I got the keys to the mortgage company. Now I didn't really want to do that because I told you I didn't seek some of that stuff, but I did it because now I learned a lot, read P&Ls, and like I learned so much from it. I mean, now, with this company, I know how to read P&Ls and all that stuff. But That's from integrity, man. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't get sober because it happened because I was a piece of shit and I was trying to not ever stick a damn needle in my arm again. So I just was living life with integrity and doing the right thing so I don't stick a needle in my arm. And because of that, I got the keys to Washington to Mutual and like freaking ran the company, dude. I ran 50 salesmen and like, dude, it was overwhelming. I didn't think I was ready for it. I didn't seek it. I was definitely intimidated by it, but I embraced it. Let's talk about embracing the hard. I took the damn challenge. It was scary as shit. I got to talk to corporate all the time. I got to talk to these bigwigs that come in now. But dude, you know what I mean, dude? I'm like looking at myself like a heroin addict still. You know what I mean? But like, dude, that's just that's what these little compounding factors of keeping your damn word to yourself
Hmm.
lead to. That's what they lead to, bro.
Totally.
They lead to a pot of gold, hypothetically. You know what I mean? Whatever the pot of gold is for you. Like God watches. He watches. He blesses you, dude. Like he blesses you with like tangible things. They talk about the promises and so in Alcoholics Anonymous, right? But for me personally, it's literally like the changes of contentment and changes of joy and literally being the type of man that like what we talked about last time where like I don't flirt with other women. I don't do these things that most men do, and that's not out of judgment. I don't do them because I can't. Because if I do them, I stick a needle in my arm. Not tomorrow, but I stick a needle in my arm. But all that being said, that all that was a point, which was that I don't want to stick a needle in my arm, so I've become a good guy. But that's not. I'm not trying to be a good guy. I'm not trying to stick a needle in my arm. But because of that integrity for now 15 years, it has yielded a fucking awesome damn life, man. You know, this is an awesome damn life, dude. And you can't
Hmm.
have that. So my question to you is this. We both have been through that type of stuff, sobriety and getting sober and changing our life. So is some of the problem the men that just haven't been through that shit?
Well, so yeah. Because here's the thing, and I love that. I love that story, by the way. And there's a lot of points in that I truly believe that ring true to a lot of people that find success in sobriety and coming out of a rock bottom. Um, but here's another kind of way to look at it. We're used to hard. We're used to being
Bring it
uncomfortable.
on, baby.
Used to shoot dope behind a dumpster. I don't think it gets much harder than that.
Do that.
So the idea of getting out of the comfort zone that you're in, that guys who haven't been through what we've been through, so there's really two ways that it can go though. So let me finish my thought there, but then I want to go back. Okay, so for us, it's like waking up at 4 o'clock and being in the gym and training our asses off until complete failure is hard, right? And there's tons of viral videos and these quotes over and over again. But so is sticking a needle in your arm behind the dumpster, right? Pick your heart,
Yeah.
right?
Right, right, right.
But then
True.
it gets less, right? But then it gets less drastic than that, right? It's hard to eat a clean diet, right? Yes, facts. That's hard to eat a clean diet, but it's hard to be overweight
In the
and
hospital
slow.
then. Right.
Pick your hard, right? And that's great, and that's all true. But we are so used to seeing the ultimate levels of discomfort that when it's like, okay, you have to make hard decisions. Cool. Like, all right, I've had to make hard decisions my entire
Bring it.
life, right?
Right.
And actually, even in our addiction, those decisions weren't nearly as hard as what they are now, which could be a reason why I'm going to back up. But we are used to the discomfort. It's normal to us. So getting up early, doing those things, that doesn't phase us. We've already done all of that shit. It just was for another reason. Okay.
Right.
Now here's the other part of it though. Okay. So there are those people that are so obsessed, so devoted, so committed to their addiction that they can transfer that, become so devoted, so obsessed, so committed to positive habits in their life. Okay, and that they become obsessed with it and they find all of that success, right? There's those people that have seen the hardest times, that are used to the stress, used to the struggle, used to suffering, used to sacrificing to get high, that become used to doing all of
Yeah.
that to build the life of their dreams.
Right.
Here's
Right.
the other side of it, though. There's the people that were so sick of suffering, so sick of struggling, so sick of sacrificing, that when they do find that comfort, they land right in that comfort zone that the person who never had what I call a blessing had before. In other words, what we struggled with created what we became, right? Our story was what sold. Our story is our superpower. The struggles that we have became the superpower today,
Oh yeah, bro.
right? But the guy who finds baseline after his struggle and and gets comfortable there, that's detrimental, because you're literally throwing kryptonite all over the superpowers that could cause you to have a life
Yeah.
so
You even
abundant.
tapped him. Well, dude,
Right.
okay, let me sit there for a second. So, because,
Which
okay,
is why, real quick, which is why they call it the status quo, right? And so some people reach the status quo, if that really, which I call it the bare minimum, right? And that becomes like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. And then they get scarce, and they can't lose that, because they already lost, right? What could have gotten them so much further. The
yeah,
sacrifice, the commitment, the obsession, all the things that they had that
because they're
allowed them to
cool with base
spiral their
camp
life
too.
out of control. Right, right.
They don't push past it because base camp too is like, a job making 10 grand a year and they're, or 10 grand a month. And like that to them is like the gold mine. And they just settle for like mediocrity to the degree where mediocrity is never growing. It's sitting in
But
the
that's
same
that's
spot.
true if you're an addict listening to this, and you go, and actually I'll make a point of this real quick, just because I think this is also important. And I'm not trying to promote Alcoholics Anonymous or any other program whatsoever. But how many guys I talk to that brandish the fact that they got sober on their own? This is important. Guys
None.
that say, "Oh no, I didn't." Well, no, they do. Yeah, there's guys out there that are like, "Oh, I got sober on my own. I white knuckled it," and guess
Really?
where they're at right?
These are,
Yeah, oh
you got
yeah,
no
oh yeah.
idea.
No, I hear it all
Bullshit.
the time.
I've
I
never
hear
even
it all the
seen
time.
somebody do it without any type of some type
And
of a
and they
program.
and they successfully got sober, JD. They successfully got sober, but that's all they got. And I have people very close to me that have long-term sobriety that did it all on their own, white knuckled it, so on and so forth, and they're still
That's
sober to this
rare.
day. And
Rare
some of
shit.
them have achieved a little bit of success, but not anything substantial. And by the way, they're still alone today.
Well,
And I
can
don't
I
mean
tell you
alone. I
why I
don't mean
think why?
well. Well, hold on a second. I don't mean alone like not married now with a family and stuff like that. But they're not growing with anybody else. So when I mean is, I'm not trying to, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to
No, you're
finish
good.
this thought, because this
Yeah,
is
of
very
course.
important. To the guy who is saying that I got sober on my own, as if like we should pat you on the back and go kudos. What I would ask them is that I've yet to meet a guy who said I got sober on my own and amounted to anything great. I know a lot of guys, tons of guys that have gotten successfully sober on their own, and none of them are successful, or none of them have built a life that I would aspire to have. And so when they tell me that they got sober, so I'm going back to this. The reason that I believe that when we work a program and when we are around other guys that are doing big shit, that are also in recovery and all of that, like we're lifting each other up. We have something that they don't have. And by the way, we also have something that the normal person doesn't have. The person who doesn't, there is no normie room that people can go in and everyone relates with the shit that there's no such thing.
True that, bro.
So to be
True
the
that.
guy who says that, cool. You got sober and you got successfully sober on your own, but you're not successful. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because again, I have yet to meet one. I have yet
You're
to
not
meet a
great.
guy who said that. You're
You've
not,
done okay, but
you
you're not
got
great.
good. You got good, but you didn't become great. It's Collins.
So
That's
I
right
want to
behind
jump
me,
in
right
because
on my shoulder.
this is something that you're going to connect to for sure. Um, my interpretation of the man that gets good and gets to base camp 2 or maybe 3, and he just settles there and he thinks he's successful. The reason he didn't climb the rest of Everest is because he didn't turn around and help other people. He didn't turn around and help people. Great men help other men succeed. I was told that in the
Mhm.
beginning of my sobriety, and it friggin' shook my soul. I said, whoa, I want to be great. Everybody can be great. Whoever is listening this right now, just help other people, man. Help other people without wanting anything in return. If somebody needs help, help them. The man that got sober on his own and got to base camp too, if he would have turned around and showed other men to get sober and then helped them along the way, he would have kept going, because that stuff is contagious. Helping, seeing, I've said it probably to you, and if I haven't, this is powerful shit. My kids being born and me marrying my bride are the best days of my life, and my granddaughter, obviously. Me walking people through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, it's so freaking rare. I've been sober 15 years and I've sponsored a freaking lot of men, and it's a handful, bro, that have finished the steps. They have completed the journey of Alcoholics Anonymous to get to step 12. Literally handful, maybe 8. In 15 years, I don't even know how many people that I've sponsored. Maybe 100. I don't know. It's a shitload. They don't finish the journey. You don't get to base camp. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you have to turn around and help other people do what you did. It's not about you. Success is not about you. It's about teaching other people how to change their life, dude. That is
Mhm.
freaking contentment. That is peace. That is joy. And it's always under construction. You don't get to help one person and then you're done. It's in perpetuity, dude. That journey of contentment, that journey of joy, that journey that we all seek, a peace of mind that we don't have when we're doing drugs or whatever, cutting corners. I don't care if you do drugs. If you're a shitty human, you don't live in peace. God
Mhm.
doesn't bless that type. You wonder why you're like always a dick and like always like pissed and like always angry, because you're being a dick. If you're in the stands, what we've talked about, talking shit on guys like us that are out in the world trying to freaking make a difference, man, in our way. Why do you get to judge how I do it, dude? You're in the stands, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, turn around and help somebody else and watch your life get freaking amazing. Watch your life get
Totally.
amazing, bro. It'll blow your freaking mind. It'll blow your.
Totally.
My sponsor told me when I got sorted, he was Croatian, and it sounds like Russian. He's like, JD, your life will get so good, I can't even put it into words. Just watch. It'll blow your mind. I talked about it when I took my chip, when I took my 15 years. He told me that, and I didn't believe him. I just wanted to get my license back. That was my thinking. Just get me my license back, dude. That was my little pinner thinking of what I wanted to change in my life. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I shot freaking short, bro. And it's because I've sat at my table with men, countless men, reading through the Alcoholics Anonymous book, almost knowing, I don't know if this guy's going to make it, but I'm doing it anyway because somebody freaking did it for me. And God goes, and he watches the next guy. You don't want to do it, JD, but you're doing it. So then finally he goes, you want to be the branch manager of a huge mortgage company? What the hell just happened? It's not me. It's God blessing me, dude.
Mhm.
That's how you become successful. Help other people, my opinion.
Yep. Totally. And again, but that also goes back to not doing it alone.
Yeah, bro. Like, dude, because you start to cultivate a freaking warrior, dude. Where do you think Warrior Maker came from? You think that wasn't consciously methodical? It's because every single one of us, I don't care who you are, you're a woman or man listening to this, if you're successful or unsuccessful, it doesn't matter. You're a freaking warrior. And you know how I know? Because God put it there. He made us he made us in our hearts two things: have to grow and have to help each other. And when we do those things, they work in tandem. They work in tandem, dude. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so joy, contentment, peace of mind, if you don't have them, why don't you help somebody else? You'll get them. They're there. They're easy for everybody. Just help
Yep.
somebody else.
Yeah, it just goes back to that saying, when one person teaches, two people learn.
Yeah. Well, like, we are blessed because, somehow we stumbled onto like a social media thing where we've been able to like find a successful career out of social media. I still trip on that. Like, how did that happen? But whatever. But it's our life. And we have been able to touch other people's lives by sharing our story, sharing some of our how we've become successful, sharing whatever. And sometimes we post shit. I'm sure you see it. You guys are bragging this. No, it's not bragging this. It's like trying to light a fire in your soul because you can freaking do it too. You're choosing not to. Like
Hmm.
someone lit a fire in me. His name was Mark Moss. Like, you can do more, dude. Why don't you do more? I'm like, frick yeah, let's do it. That's it, man.
I
Surround
love
yourself
it.
with the right people.
I love it.
Love it, bro. I could talk like this forever. I freaking miss you, bro. You look happy. You look, your smile is genuine. Freaking makes me happy.
Life is good.
Yeah, man. I
Life is
miss you.
good.
We'll see you soon. We'll either get up there or I'll fly up there. I know you'll be back here soon, but I'll see you soon. We'll break some
Yep.
meat. I'm back on the
That's
corner.
right.
We'll break some meat.
I saw that.
Yeah, it works for me, bro. I like the discipline of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's good. No, no. If it
Yeah,
works, it works.
it works for me, man. But
I
dude,
love
I
it.
love it, man. I love it, buddy. Well, I'm gonna try to make a commitment to somehow between the two of us, once a month, be sitting in the same room. You have a podcast room. We'll make it work. Either me get there, we'll figure it out to the degree where we can sit together and make it work. And because I mean, all we do is just sit here and talk about shit we talk about anyway.
Right.
And it's
Right.
and it's recorded, man. So
That's it.
it's it,
Well,
brother.
yeah,
I
and
love you,
if you
man.
guys are listening, I love you too, dude. And if you guys are listening to this and you like what you heard, make sure you click subscribe. Make sure that you, shoot us comments, love all of that good stuff. We love doing this. We have yet to miss a Thursday night, and we're going to continue to put this stuff out there, whether you like it or not. But
That's
thank you
it,
guys for
bro.
tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Sick Boys podcast, and we really appreciate you. We're out.
Good shit, man. You do.
Oh,
You look
right.